how do we start things off? We can start things off with a match where I was happy of the return of Tamara Mitz.
Yeah, I mean, I think I picked that one correctly, Jody. In fact, I know I did. And
Yeah,
you picked the other way. Didn't you? Or did you pick
I did.
Tamara?
I picked Tamara, and I said before on the show last week, excuse me, guys, I'm eating cheese and crackers. I said that because her and I have a special bond, a bond that should never ever be tied to. We both, as parents, lost our kid, young age, and I share that same tragedy as she does. And I would, reach out to her from time to time. Hey, how you holding up? Thinking about you. She'd reach out to me, that kind of stuff. So we're like this as far as that goes. So I was pulling for her. And the grit that she showed was like, okay, here we go. I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So she came back, and what a comeback it was. And somebody that's taken a ton of time off to deal with things and comes back and beats a top-level competitor. Awesome. So congratulations, Tamara, on your return.
There was a break in the action because I don't know. She has something going on with her head. I don't know if high blood pressure. I don't know. There was a break in action when they were concerned about her. So I don't know if she has anxiety. I don't know if it kicked in. I mean, it was special for her. She really wanted this match, and I'm not really sure what exactly was going on. But nonetheless, she snapped out of it. It's all good. So there you go.
Holy shit. Joe Nelson, that's an amazing proposal for a match. Just to stop on that note, Jody, when I see one of these comments, Billy, pay attention to this. That's a big match.
Yes, it is. I like that match. Billy, do you understand what's coming at you? Do you understand this 47-year-old guy coming at you? Does he understand that?
I think he knows. He's all about it.
Yes. Oh, I got a little info for you that's going to shock everybody, but we'll get to that in a minute. Regarding North to South. The other ladies match, the match that a lot of people didn't see because of the issues with the stream and all that kind of stuff, and everybody was like, God damn you, Core Sports, and all English control and everything, and it was just all a bunch of stuff, right? It was Heidi Cordner versus Sarah Backman. So,
well, we know how it went. We know the result.
Yeah, exactly.
But we didn't the stream cut out a little bit.
I thought, how in the super match, after every match, you go by your respective corners. You got somebody in your corner after match one. And this is probably moments after that. I saw Mike Gould in the corner of Heidi. They used to train together and whatnot. And that's when the screen went blank and we blinked on. Next thing you know, Sarah's up 4-0. So I don't have a whole lot to say about that match. I didn't fucking see it because the issues, I mean, people were getting a hold of Magda, what's going on? And, I don't know, but it started out great. The stream did, but as we got later into the event, thinking, oh, don't you dare freeze up on us from the last two matches of the card, that kind of stuff. But I'm glad that, it got fixed itself. But I'm sorry, Ryan, I don't have a whole lot to say for a match I really didn't see because of the technical difficulties. I really don't.
Well, I think it would. It went as expected. So Sarah wins the match. Heidi, came in, looked trained up, and nothing really to report on here.
And the match in between the ladies' match, how about that Alan Ford, huh?
As predicted. As predicted.
I tell you what, because to see Alan, and there was a point where I'm thinking, oh, Alan, dude, don't go into his power. Please don't, And once Alan found the lane and go, okay, I found something. If I can exploit that, can he make the adjustment? The guy didn't. Allen kept going for it. And of course, when you smell blood in the water, you just go for the kill, right? Everyone does that,
Yeah.
What is their joke? How old is Allen anyway?
Why were they talking about him being old?
I don't know, man. It's always like Evan Burgoyne's always saying something like, oh, yeah, well, Allen's like, he's been in the sport for 30 years. I'm thinking, so what?
I think he's late 50s, kind of like us, or late 40s rather, not 50s.
Yeah.
Late 40s like us. I don't think he's 50 yet.
Yeah. Canada's wipeout. Exactly, Dean. Canada's wipeout. So kudos to Alan Ford. I'm glad he won that because his last outing that I remember is the one up in Arm Gods up in Ireland.
Do you know about Alan Ford being on that wipeout show?
It didn't show here in the States.
It was on the Canadian version of it. So they fly them to Argentina, I think is where it's filmed.
Wow.
Because if you die down there, I guess it's okay. But you have to sign a waiver. Basically, the waiver is as thick as a phone book.
Wow. Was he hanging out with Lionel Messi too down in Argentina or what?
I don't know. Yeah.
But no, it was good. I'm glad he did that because, his last outing at Arm Gods, he went down 3-1. And, usually big events like that, you're foaming to get back on stage to show, hey, I'm fixing my holes. I'm going to get that. Allen did that on the big stage. Kudos to him. What else can you say, right?
Alan Ford is one of the most underrated arm wrestlers in the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wish he got out more, but, he might have a lot of stuff going on, to where he can't get away as much as he used to. So that might be one of those.
You can watch Alan's appearance on Wipeout on Arm Sport Videos.
Oh, check it out. Check it out. Now, the match of the day. Not the main event, but the match of the day. What did Dean say? The first round of Pulled Out of Arm Gods was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, it was awesome. One of these days, I would love to pull Dean at Arm Gods. That's not a necessary call out, but However, match of the day, Matt Mask. I was really pulling for Matt. I'm looking for the wild horse that Matt's been known for, and we just haven't seen it in the last few super matches. In fact, his last win was at this event last year, was it not?
Cressy?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
That was his last win, on a super match platform. He's taking losses to Sandris and, Prutnik and stuff. And it's just like, okay, Matt needed to go back to the lab, get some work done, work on some stuff, and then come back and resurface. And then because I knew this would be like, can you imagine a Hollywood screenwriter writing this story? Matt's taking ass whooping after ass whooping. We have all done that. I've done it. You've done it. We've all done it in this sport. And he goes back. I'm going to go away for a while, down low, fix my hair, fuck it, come back at the East vs. West qualifier, the second one in Canada and Toronto, whoop everyone's ass, keyword is earn my spot back where he belongs, the East vs. West. Can you imagine what the story would be had he won that match this past weekend? Hey, the wild horse is back. And I'm telling you what, after match 3, I was like, damn it, Matt. Come on, dude. Come on, man. Because you have to realize that you lose match 1. Okay, all right, shake it off. Because these are all 6-round matches, by the way. And then you lose match 2. It's like, all right, man, come on now. Stop playing around, because normally in an East vs. West format, it's best of 5. So you go down 2-0. I don't want to say the wind's out of your sails, but you don't feel as confident as you once were, where 6 rounds, you still got time. Match 3 happens. Matt loses that one. It's like going, fuck. Everybody in my garage was pulling for Matt. Everybody. We want to see that wild version of him, right? And in the strap, Matt got him here. Dude elbow foul a couple of times. Okay, it's a win. That's all you need. if you're in a super match, right? Challenge match, whatever you want to call it, and you get one win, doesn't matter how you get it, but you do get that one win. There's like, there's that light going, okay, I'm still in this. And that's all anybody needs. Because once you get that, all of a sudden everything changes. The momentum shifts. And damn it to hell if Matt didn't win the next two. So I'm thinking, we going silver bullet. I'm like, cool. I'm like, could this happen? Could Matt Mask, who was down 3-0, make this 180 to where, can this dude win 4 straight? I'm like, so now everybody at my house, we stopped pulling. Because I had the guys over, we had, we're kind of, going, training. And when Matt won that third one, and now it's tied 3-3, we all stopped pulling. We all pulled up a chair, stood there, watched. We all surrounded the table. Come on, Matt. Come do this. We stopped pulling. We were that interested in that match, right? We were that engaged in that match, pulling for him. And then on the setup, I'm like, okay, dude's going for a shoulder press. If you watch the entire match, dude he stood up like that. Like, oh, Matt's going for the fucking shoulder press, dude. Fucking low back hard. We all saw it. I don't know if Matt saw it or what, but I'm thinking when you see that kind of stuff, and all of a sudden the guy's doing this, I'm thinking, oh, okay, here we go. He's going for a shoulder. All Matt had to do, grip him up, slide his elbow forward, and now look. So if I'm doing this, if I'm doing Matt, right? I'll do it this way so I can see. Wait. Y'all see this? Okay. If Matt's doing this, low hand, and then you grip up and you slide the elbow forward, now all of a sudden that hand's closer to you. His opponent ends up doing this. That's all you have to do. When he comes like with a shoulder press like that, and Matt's doing this on the hit, it opens him up. And I saw that going, Matt, you got to see that. But, much to our chagrin, the guy got the pin on Matt. He wins 4-3. But I'm still super impressed with Matt's performance. And by the way, Scott McGinnis has the link for Alan Ford and the Wipeout. Check it out. He put that in the link. So, again, what do you think?
Well, I think it was a better gauge on where Matt is at because we saw a close match. So, if nothing else, it aids in matchmaking in the future because we have seen Matt destroy somebody. We've seen Matt get destroyed a few times. And the question was, where do you put him in the order and where do you fit him in? So now you've got the guys like Sergey, and then you've got some of Sergey. There is a common opponent now between guys that are close to Sergey and Matt. So you have an ability to match him up a little bit better when you bring him back over to East versus West, which I'm sure he will end up back at some point. Well, he's got to have one more match because he won the qualifier.
Right. He might be on East versus West, maybe 10, because the card for 9 is already out. So, and yes, GB, we'll talk about Artem. That guy's leveled up big time also. I mean, we're talking about the tournament aspect of it. He was whacking everybody. Now, I wonder because with those weight classes they had there, a lot of guys who are 200 pounds were pulling 242s, supers. Like Arden pulled those classes, John Terrian pulled those classes, and it was good matchups. And the lighter guys were taking care of business, but it made me wonder, like, was there not a lot of people there? As far as the tournament standpoint.
I don't know. There was actually a tournament on the same day in Ontario as well.
Was that the one in Thunder Bay?
The Thunder Bay one, yeah. And when I say it's in Ontario, I mean, keep in mind, it's like a 16-hour drive between those two locations. So it's not like they're going to impact each other that much. But
Canada's a wide country to be to begin with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw Jocelyn post some pics about what she did. I was like, oh, nice. Now, the main event. I told you so. I told you so.
Yeah, and did he ever?
Yes, Scott said there were 3 tournaments in Ontario that day. That just tells you how big Ontario is. When you got 3 tournaments, but there ain't like real close, that tells you the landmass of Canada,
Yeah.
Ontario is.
It is a massive province, and it is not the biggest.
That's scary.
Yeah. So,
I told you so.
well, I don't know what to say, man. Take it away.
Well, some people thought I was crazy. I know the golden rule is that you don't bet against John Brzenk, but I will say, I thought if Todd got the side pressure, the angle of it, I think I broke everything down last week, where take his wrist, whatever. Not only does Todd go sideways, but he kind of has a up pressure and side at the same time, but his elbow stays on the pad. And I told people if he gets to that particular lane and does damage on his shoulder, we'll see how it goes. And I think after match one, I'm thinking, okay, because, John has the hand, don't get me wrong. But how is that shoulder going to hold up? And I was like, okay, Todd's going to find that lane. And it was, I think the match meant more to Todd than it did John, honestly, in my opinion. But I thought that it would go that way. I didn't think it would end 4-0, but I thought Todd would win. So,
yeah. Well, I thought John would win, but I was wrong, and very wrong.
right.
It was pretty much a straight up ass whooping, and that's how it goes.
Yes.
And John has taken lots of those in his career, and he's always come back from them. But he's no spring chicken, of course. But the man's a legend. He's got nothing left to prove, and if he decides to come back and pull again, that's I'm sure he will.
He
But I
does
did
have
see
one
that
more match.
I did see that he was announced as the commentary team, part of the commentary team for East versus West 9.
With Travis.
Yeah. So
but
that
he
is
does have one more match. Like he has Vovoda later on.
He's got Vovoda, and that's that's going to be a big one.
So